If you are new to Lunch Money, don't waste hours clicking around. I will walk you through the one tab that makes or breaks your budget, the Finance tab. I'll show you how to set it up, how to use it, and avoid mistakes that most new users make. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, certified financial coach and the creator of Fit Finance Club. If you want to try it yourself, use my link in the description box below to try out Lunch Money. Now, before you even get started, it is important to realize there are three main tabs inside of Lunch Money. The Home tab is the Overview Dashboard tab. It gives you a visual of everything, including your accounts, your budget, your transaction. You can look at your net worth, stats showing you the most expensive, your top spending categories. You can look at trends with charts over your total expenses, total income, and a visual calendar. The Finances tab is where you will actually do your budgeting. This is where you customize your budget, see all your transactions, your reoccurring expenses, charts, reports, and analytics. The Setup tab is for your initial setup. This is where you link your accounts, create categories, tags, rules, etc. I'm going to assume you've already linked some accounts and probably created some categories. If you need help creating categories, I'll show you quickly how to do that. If you don't need help, then skip to the next section. Look in the timestamp below. To create categories under the Setup tab, you go to the Categories tab. You can click that big yellow button that says Add a New Category, and a line will appear and you enter it in right there. Or you can click the arrow and create a group. So I have mine grouped by income, by fixed expenses, by variable expenses. You can create a group and then add subcategories into it, or they have some preset categories if you're having trouble with that. Okay, now let's focus on your budget. If you go to the Finances tab, the Budget tab is the default one that pops up. It is going to show you your period at the top left. So you can see here it says November, so I'm budgeting by month. Let me show you how to change that. If you go over to the right and hit Budget Settings, the default is the monthly budget, but you can set a custom period. You open that up and you can choose by every so many days, weeks, months, twice a month. So for example, let's change it to every 2 weeks, and then I can choose the start date. So if I choose every 2 weeks, say I say January 1st is my start date, then it will do the 1st through the 14th, and then the 15th through the 30th or 28th. If I choose January 2nd, it'll do 2nd through the 15th, 16th through the 29th. You can also just choose to restart whenever you get paid. So if you get paid on the 25th of the month, you can start it off of your payday. It is important to know if you change your budget period, it will not save your historical budget. Also in the budget settings is the general pool rollover. You can choose to turn this on, and that means any income, anything left over will get rolled over into a general pool, all into one category for the next month or the next period. For this video, I will try to say period, but I'm in the habit of budgeting by month, so I might accidentally say by the month. If I ever say that, I really mean by whatever period you choose. Also here, you can choose to hide categories that don't have any activity or that you haven't budgeted anything for. Okay, now let's talk about how to budget your income. There are three different options. The first option is budgeted income. So this is based off of you enter in how much money you think you're going to receive for the period. So this is great if you have a steady paycheck, you are salary, and have a very predictable amount that you're going to make each period. The next option is actual income. So this means you budget based on what you actually make. So what transactions come in. This is good if you're living paycheck to paycheck, or if you have extremely variable income period to period. Or you can choose to budget by the larger of the two. So it will do whichever one has the most money. So this could be useful if you are maybe salary, but occasionally get commission or have extra, or you have kind of a baseline, but sometimes it's higher than that. Now let's talk about how to navigate the budgeting page. So right here, the budget view, this is where you're going to spend most of your time doing your budget. Okay, up top you have the inflow, which is essentially your income. You've got the income, and then with that you have the expected column, which is this is how much you expect to make. You click on it and you can type in a number, or it gives you a few options. You can choose last period's activity. So since I'm going monthly, I'm in November, it can take October, what I actually made in October, and put that number in. Or It can do an average over the last 3 months, or you can clear it to 0. So there are a bunch of different options here. The activity column is very straightforward. It's what you have actually earned based on the transactions that have come in. If there is a dotted line on it, that means you can hover over it and it will show you the history. If there's a magnifying glass, you can click on it and it will show you the exact transactions that are being counted towards that category. In here, if you click magnifying glass, you can then edit those transactions if you want. The budgetable column is how much money is included in the budget. You do not adjust this. It is coming from the expected column. If you hit the little caret there, it's going to give you the options to roll over. So if you have extra income that you don't use in a period, then you can roll it over to the general pool for the next month or the next period. There are also budget presets. So for the category you have hit the caret on, you can have it set to certain presets. So the presets are a fixed amount. So this is like if it's your salary that's always the same every single month, it could just be a fixed amount every single month. It will automatically be filled in for you every month. This period's activity, this means how much you make for that category this month. It will always be set to that. Last period's activity, so in this example, it would be always set to how much I made in the previous month. The last period expected, so that would be for me last month, how much I planned on making, it would automatically be set to that. You could do an average over the last 3 periods. You could do nothing, which means you would have to go in and enter in the budgeted amount, the planned income for every period. And even if you choose one of these presets, you can always override it by just typing in a new number. You can see here at the bottom of the income, I have some uncategorized income. So if I click on that, it will take me to the transactions and I can categorize them. Here in the budget, after the inflow, there is the outflow, which is essentially the expenses. It is based on your budget group. So I've already created my groups and my categories. So you can see I've got my fixed, my variable, my savings. You can do it however you want. You can collapse and expand each of the sections to see all of the subcategories, but the budgeted column is how much you plan to spend on each of those categories. Once again, I can just type in a number, or if I click on it, there are some presets I can choose from. The activity, this is what I have actually spent based on the transactions that have come in. So once again, there's a dotted line. If there's a dotted line, you can hover over it to see the history, or you can click on the magnifying glass to see all of the individual transactions. The available column is how much money you have left to spend in that category. Green means you have money left to spend in the category. Red means you are over. You can also, on any of the categories to the left of the number, the little transfer icon, you can transfer money from one category to another. For any of the categories here, you can click on the caret icon, and it is going to give you a few options. For rollover, you can choose to roll it over into the same category. So your income automatically will go into a general pool if you turn the rollover on. But your expenses, you can have them roll over into the same category, or you can have them roll over into that general pool. So if you didn't spend all of it this period, it can roll over to your income for the next period. You can also set the date and the amount. If you already had some money in a category like a sinking fund, you can set today's date and how much money you already have saved. If you switch from the budget view to the settings view, it kind of shows you the back end. So for your income, you can change the budget presets. For the expenses, you can change your rollover options. You can change the budget presets. You can just click on anything to change it. On the right-hand side, it shows you kind of your budget status, how much you have left over to spend. So it takes your income minus your budgeted expenses. If you want to clear it, you can get a fresh start. And the budget overview just shows you how much money is budgetable. What you've budgeted plus your rollover, how much you have left to budget. Green means you have money left. Red means you've assigned more than you have. Budget status is simply green means it's balanced. You've got exactly the right amount. Orange means you still have money to assign. Red means you are over budget. And the net total available is the minimum amount you need to cover your budget. So if you're using zero base, this should match your bank statement pretty closely. Okay, now let's move to the transactions tab. To manually enter a transaction, you simply click add to cash and type in all of the information. To change any category, you just click on a transaction, click on the category, and scroll through the categories you can choose from. For example, this Amazon transaction is uncategorized, so I'm going to scroll through, find the actual category. It was actually for children's activities, so I will change that. You can do a quick search up top, type search for a store or an amount, choose a time period. There are lots of different filters you can apply. If we go to the reoccurring tab, this is going to show you your reoccurring expenses or bills. It finds some. You can manually enter them in by clicking add new reoccurring item. You can click on show suggested and turn the transactions to reoccurring if they are or not. If you go to the analyze tab, this is where you're going to see reports. It's going to show your income minus expenses minus your savings goals. You can choose the dates. And over on the right hand side, you can go from a table to pie chart to line chart to all sorts of different charts. If you want help getting started from the very beginning, from scratch, let me know in the comments and I can film a video on that. Otherwise, check out my review of Lunch Money up here to see all of the features and everything it can do for you. If you're interested in trying, use my link to sign up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.